Welcome to Red Mix Facts. Today, we're ranking history's most feared warriors. This is like the ultimate fight card, man. We're talking about the baddest dudes to ever walk the planet, the guys who struck fear into the hearts of their enemies. These warriors weren't just skilled fighters, they were also brilliant strategists, charismatic leaders, and straight-up forces of nature. We're talking about guys like Genghis Khan, who conquered more land than anyone in history. We're talking about Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary samurai who fought dozens of duels and never lost. And of course, we've got Alexander the Great, the Macedonian king who conquered most of the known world by the time he was 30. So buckle up because we're about to dive deep into the lives and battles of these legendary warriors. We're gonna break down their fighting styles, their strategies, and their impact on history. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly who we think deserves the title of the most feared warrior of all time. First up, we got Genghis Khan. This dude was born in Mongolia in the 1100s, and let me tell you, life on the Mongolian steppe was no walk in the park. It was brutal, man. Imagine freezing winters, scarce resources, constant tribal warfare. It was like a Mad Max movie out there. But Genghis Khan, he thrived in that chaos. He was a natural leader, a tough SOB who unified the Mongol tribes through sheer force of will. This wasn't some ragtag group of nomads, man. Genghis Khan, he whipped them into a disciplined fighting force, an army unlike anything the world had ever seen. And their weapon of choice? The bow and arrow. These guys were like the Navy SEALs of archery. They could hit a target the size of a man from over 200 yards away, on horseback, at full gallop. I mean, come on, it's insane. Genghis Khan's armies, they swept across Asia like a tidal wave, conquering everything in their path. We're talking about China, Persia, parts of Eastern Europe. The Mongol Empire under Genghis Khan became the largest contiguous land empire in history. Think about that. He was ruthless, no doubt about it, but he was also a brilliant strategist. He understood the importance of logistics, of intelligence, of adapting to different terrains and enemies. He was playing chess, man, while everyone else was playing checkers. Genghis Khan died in 1227, but his empire had lived on for generations. His descendants, they pushed even further west, reaching all the way to Hungary. This guy, he changed the course of history. He was a force of nature, man, and definitely one of the most feared warriors to ever live. Next up, we're traveling to feudal Japan, the land of the samurai, to meet Miyamoto Musashi. This guy was a true warrior philosopher, a master swordsman, and a total badass. He lived by the code of Bushido, the way of the warrior, and he dedicated his life to perfecting his swordsmanship. Musashi was a ronin, a masterless samurai, which meant he wandered Japan, fighting duels, testing his skills against the best of the best. And let me tell you, this wasn't like some kind of polite fencing match. These were duels to the death, man. But Musashi, he was different. He wasn't just some bloodthirsty killer. He saw swordsmanship as an art form, a path to enlightenment. He even developed his own unique fighting style, Niten Ichi Ryu, or Two Heavens as One, where he used two swords simultaneously, a katana and a wakizashi. Talk about ambidextrous. And this guy, he was undefeated. He fought over 60 duels and never lost, not once. He even fought against multiple opponents at the same time, like something out of a kung fu movie. But Musashi was more than just a skilled swordsman. He was also a writer, a strategist, and an artist. He wrote The Book of Five Rings, a treatise on swordsmanship and strategy that's still studied today. Musashi's life was about discipline, self-mastery, and the pursuit of excellence. He was a true warrior poet, a legend in Japan, and a testament to the power of human potential. Finally, we come to Alexander the Great, the Macedonian king who conquered most of the known world by the time he was, get this, 30 years old. 30! This guy was like a young, ambitious CEO, but instead of a tech startup, he was building an empire. Alexander was a military prodigy. He was trained by Aristotle himself, and he grew up studying the campaigns of great generals like his father, Philip II of Macedon. He was basically born to conquer, and conquer he did. Alexander led his armies to victory after victory, crushing the Persians at Granicus River, Issus, and Gaugamela. He was unstoppable. His strategic brilliance, his charisma, his sheer audacity, it all combined to make him one of the greatest military commanders in history. He never lost a battle. Think about that for a second. Never lost a battle. He faced overwhelming odds, fought in unfamiliar terrains, and yet he always found a way to win. He was like the Tom Brady of ancient warfare. Alexander's empire stretched from Greece all the way to India. He spread Greek culture and ideas throughout his vast domain, ushering in the Hellenistic period. He was a visionary, a uniter, a man who dreamed of conquering the entire world. He died young at the age of 32, probably from malaria or some other illness. But in his short life, he left an indelible mark on history. He was Alexander the Great, the conqueror who never lost, and one of the most feared and respected warriors of all time. So there you have it, folks. 3 legendary warriors, 3 incredible stories of ambition, skill, and conquest. It's tough to choose just one, right? Each of these guys was a total badass in their own right. But if I had to pick the most feared warrior of all time, I think I gotta go with Genghis Khan. The sheer scale of his conquests, the ruthlessness of his armies, the impact he had on history, it's just mind-blowing. But hey, that's just my opinion. Who do you think deserves the title? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Red Mix Facts for more epic history content.